So, Battlefield. Let's talk about Battlefield. So, nothing happening in the Battlefield sphere right now. Literally nothing. So, I was thinking, well, there's a couple topics I want to discuss. But decide, you know what? I'll put those topics to the side for now. And let's just talk what we want for the next Battlefield game. And the reason why I want to discuss this, like just general brainstorming idea, what we want for the next game, is mostly because there's still time. If we come up with something maybe amazing or good, right?
There's a possibility they would implement it and
Possibility
pay us
maybe
for
they can.
it, right?
I know DICE developers listen to this. I do know that. So, or Ridgeline, not Ridgeline. Ripple Effect, or maybe Motive or something like. I know they listen. So maybe we can come up with something, brainstorming, and maybe they'll have the time to implement it because still like a year to go, minimum. So maybe.
And while we're on the subject of listening here, if you guys should ever want to just send this off to your casting director, that'd be great for you.
Ray's a really good voice actor, people.
Yeah, that would be an amazing turn of luck, wouldn't it? or not. I mean, we could just do the regular process. I mean, but you guys got to reach out to me. I'm not SAG, man. I can't see y'all's auditions. I can't.
The narcissist in me will say, you want to voice something in the game. I want to be the poster fucking soldier of the next game. I wanna give me the gear, put me everything, put me in front of the cameras, and let me pose. That would be the dream.
Even if they would just like they would do for us, like they did, just hypothetically speaking, like even if they would do for us like what they did with Battlefield Friends and BF4.
Oh, that would be so cool.
I would die a happy man.
Yeah, I would die.
Because like that's things on my career bucket list. Like I want to do something in the Battlefield franchise. Like I mean, objectively speaking, I would kind of prefer to be on a game that's revered and not panned. But I'm not picky in that regard.
Yeah, I'm not picky either.
Two,
I'm just happy
Star Trek is the other one.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be part of the process. Whether it's a small reference or whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. Like because we love Battlefield so much, shit or good or whatever, we're still gonna not gonna support.
We ain't getting paid for this, kids. So we're only doing this because we like it.
Yeah, trust me. We have some Patreon supporters, but that doesn't pay the bills. It's just literally, it's like we have sometimes 5, 10 subscribers or whatever, depending on the month. How good it is and everything. But it's
organic.
Yeah, we're doing this for love. The like I said, there's only.
It's 100%
I said that behind
pure,
the scenes.
unfiltered joy.
Yeah.
Battlefield One podcast, grown between the beautiful hills of Florida and the pasty, foggy depression that is London. 100%.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Pure Battlefield joy.
Yeah, that's accurate. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the next Battlefield game. Just discuss what we want for the next game, any ideas or whatever that comes out. Literally brainstorming. We only have some notes in front of us, but most of it is just gonna come out our head. Like we didn't plan anything, whatever. We're not gonna talk about we're not gonna talk about the battle royale. That's what the next. That's a separate topic entirely.
That's a whole episode in of itself.
Yeah, I want to tackle that on a separate episode with an hour and a half maybe minimum because there's so much to talk there. I want to properly get into. But when it comes to brainstorming just ideas about the next Battlefield game, that's let's see if we can do something in 40 minutes. It's just general brainstorming ideas. Maybe bring something from the old games. Maybe come up with something new. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, it's basically a low-key wish list, I guess, for the next Battlefield game. I guess I don't know. Brainstorming, see and I decided we're gonna split this way. Basically, single player and multiplayer, because I think that's the accurate way of doing. Because Battle Royale will be the third section of whatever this is, of this whole package. So it's a separate episode. But we can start with the single player. So, in your opinion, do you want what kind of single player game do you want for a Battlefield game?
Single player, what I really want is like what I've always said as far as a single player campaign goes. It needs to be a good, believable story. That's, it has its craziness to it. It has its absurdities per, like Battlefield is as far as multiplayer goes. It needs to tie in along the lines of along the multiplayer. And I'm not talking about, like, lacklusterly loosely, like how COD Zombies does that, because, I mean, that's kind of cool that they've jammed a story into that. But at the same time, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, how it's being portrayed, because it if you don't know, it does it in acts, and you don't get, like, the next ideas of what the fuck is actually going on until you get through an act and see a cutscene, and then you have to get through the next act, which can take you weeks, to do. I don't really like that type of format as far as storytelling goes, because it's really it fits with what's going on, but it's not really something I'm vested in. It's okay, cool, it's there. It's a nice little, I don't know, a dash of cinnamon on a vanilla cupcake. That's about it. It doesn't really set it off, but it's just there. What Battlefield needs to do is what I've always said they need to do. They need to get their universe. They need to set it, establish it, stick to it in a way that COD has. And I'm not saying to just rip them off completely, because, again, it would contradict what I just said. They don't need to do what Zombies is doing in order to have multiplayer tied in, but they need to do the single player in a way where the locations make sense, which I think isn't Modern Warfare 3 just the entire Urzikstan map? Like, that's it. There's no other maps or anything on that?
No, Verdansk. There's, like, certain open combat missions in Verdansk.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, in Verdansk.
Okay,
so I can mention that quickly, because I was thinking making a quick video about Modern Warfare 3 before Black Ops 6. It's basically, people complained that there's some comments like, oh, the Modern Warfare 3 single player was... They were using old maps from all games and everything, because it's so lazy and everything. I'm like, well, no.
What the fuck are they talking about?
No, I mean...
What the hell are they on about?
Don't get me wrong. Modern Warfare 3 single player was not that the greatest, don't get me wrong. But you have to understand the context, and in that context kind of made sense for why Verdansk was back in the single player, because it kind of explained some of the loose ends, I guess, or connected to the original game. So it kind of made sense. So it's kind of a really naive thing to say, like, oh, it's because they brought old maps because there's no time to make something new or whatever. I don't think that's the case. It's still
if it's a location that's tied to the story of the game, it's a location that's tied to the story of the game. Like, why would you want to remake that area if it's an asset that can already be brought back in and utilized? Like, you guys not understand that them doing stuff like that is supposed to save on costs, and in a good world, where business ethics is a thing, that would in turn keep development costs down and therefore keep the price of the game down, which we know isn't exactly what's going on, but still, that still works against them. Workflow problems and workflow pacing is still a thing that corporate cares about. Yeah. So you guys can't get pissy at them for reusing assets these days. And besides that, like, there's only so many different ways you can rebuild something in order to make it look differently. And at some point, even me as a 3D artist, I would sit here and go, fuck you guys. If it's going to save me time, I'm reusing the character model. I'm reusing the texture files. I'm just going to do... and if it's shit that I built, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
because it's my shit anyway.
Yeah, there's a bigger story here and so on. Anyway, I'm going to go there. But when it comes to Battlefield single player, this is why I feel least confident about the next Battlefield game. Because originally, if anyone doesn't know, you should listen to our previous episodes, Ridgeline Studios, EA studio that was formed to make a Battlefield single player for the next game. But they got shut down, 7-8 months ago? Something like that?
Yeah. And
the guy that created Halo, or Master Chief in that matter, was handling that studio, and he basically quit because, he quit not on good terms with EA because EA probably was meddling too much with his ideas, vision, whatever you want to say. And he was responsible for making that...
another thing that's got to stop.
Yeah. Whatever the case may be. I don't know what's the story, whatever. Maybe there were disagreements internally with other studios because this is not one studio thing. This is like a 4-studio thing, and Byron Beatty is the Battlefield group manager, so maybe he said no to something. So God knows. But because that... Oro, can you stop smacking my mic? Thank you. He's smacking my mic with his tail. This is the least confident I feel about like the whole package of the next Battlefield game. Because, alright, so clearly they're going back to the drawing board with the single player. Clearly. I don't think it's gonna be a really good single player. I don't think it's gonna be that engaging. It's just gonna be another thing on top. Because what can you make in just, a year? Honestly. A year and a half. From when the studio got cancelled. And they just recently announced that Motive Studios is joining the development for the next single player or making this Battlefield universe, right? You don't have much time to make something good. I don't think it's going to be a really scripted single player. I don't think that's going to happen because that takes a lot resources to do. And I don't think you can make something...
It takes time.
Yeah,
and it's not even really resources so much as time. Like, and you've got to give writers time in order to do the thing.
It's not even right. It's just for the programmers to make something, I don't think I'm sure you can reuse something for old games and everything, see what can be reused. But again, this is just game development one-on-one. You reuse everything you can. Doesn't mean the single player or the content you're making is going to be good. So this is the way I least confident I feel about the next Battlefield game. But do you think it's going to be a reboot or a sequel? Or something, well... Actually, no. Yeah, there's only two options, yeah.
It needs a reboot. Hands down. I don't think, because let's put it this way. How well received is 2042 right now?
Oh, no. No.
Do you really honestly fucking think a sequel is going to sell? Hell no. It needs a reboot.
Technically will be a prequel. Because it's...
they need to just really... 2042 just kind of needs to just... And I know this was said about BF5, and I don't say this about BF5. I never said it about BF5. But 2042 needs to just kind of be forgotten. I mean, the work that was put into it, the lessons that were learned from it, don't. That does not need to be forgotten. But what it is, kind of like how Hardline was, but wrongly done to, 2042 rightfully needs to just be put behind them. They need to just take a lot of the shit that worked mechanic-wise, like the movement, the vaulting, the live switching of accessories and attachments on your guns and a lot of the shit like that, stuff like that worked. Take that and just reboot Battlefield 3 and 4. That's it. That is all they have to do.
You know what I'm thinking? This is my prediction for the next game.
And if they want to do Battle Royale and really kind of mimic COD, you could make one huge-ass map. Go fucking apeshit with this giant, huge-ass map. And again, like what they do, section off bits of it for certain game modes. And since it's a big island, an idea that I have later, that I'm going to talk about later, will work beautifully with it. And there's no need for expansion packs. You can do your live service model.
I mean, that's what COD did.
And it'll work.
That's what COD did. That's what they reused Battle Royale maps for their co-op missions and...
But just go bigger with the map. Because Urzikstan as a map will not work in Battlefield. That's too small, it's too condensed, it's too COD. It needs to be bigger, more vast open spaces for the vehicles and the air vehicles and everything else. Like I would say, you could open up the whole island to air vehicles being able to have air-to-air combat, and that would make the air-to-air theater much bigger, and the infantry and ground section would just be an area of operations for them. And that would make the game more sweet, okay? Now consider we've now changed the dynamics of how air-to-air combat works in this, okay? There's a reason for, jets in order to try and push helicopters out of the AO, because now they can't engage with the ground forces. Now it's just air-to-air. If, you have a dogfight that's going on, one jet has air-to-ground missiles and guns, and the other jet has, air-to-air, there's an air theater dominance that can be established there. Or we could allow 2, 3, 4 fucking jets to be able to spawn in at a shot and have some really good air-to-air combat moments up in the air while some shit's going down on the ground. Doing something like that makes sense with a high player count, right? Because you're giving these high players something to do and places to go, and you're not jamming them all in on the ground. That would work.
I mean, the way COD did back in 2019 when Modern Warfare 2.19 came out, they took basically Verdansk, the big map, right? and they took small sections of the map and made them into co-op missions and some wannabe conquest mode. And they had vehicles. It had vehicles. It had some
and it worked.
To Call of Duty standard. Call of Duty
Call
standards,
of Duty
it worked.
standard.
Yeah.
For what it is. I
Yeah,
mean, it's all light armor, but whatever. I mean, you know. But imagine that with Battlefield vehicles, and even so, like I was going back and talking about the air-to-air stuff. Let's give recons and stuff gadgets so that they can mark gun runs, flares, smoke, IR smoke. You know what I mean? You know, this opens up whole new buckets of mechanics and potential that could be done. And again, like not that I'm saying that Battlefield needs to steal a lot off of COD's plate, because there is quite, you know, a little few things here and there that Battlefield kind of should take to what Call of Duty has done and do it in their own way. But that's kind of been the two games' thing since they started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've always kind of pulled off of each other's plates this entire time. I mean, fuck, now it's gotten to the point where Call of Duty has literally gotten former DICE developers on staff, okay? You don't fucking believe me? Google it.